Well, it is the beginning of a big deal for us. Welcome to Spotlight New England. I'm one of your hosts, Audrey McClelland.
And I'm Ashley Erling, and we are so excited.
The day has come. May 5th. We've been counting down. I felt like it was like Christmas.
It's definitely a holiday for us. We're going to now mark this on our calendar every year.
It's a big deal.
Because it'll be our anniversary, and we're so excited. We've been working on this for quite some time.
Yes.
And we're excited to finally be able to bring it to everyone.
I love it. And, you know, if you are like kind of just seeing this for the first time, I know we've been talking about it on social quite a bit now over the weekend, and we just want to put a spotlight on people, places, businesses right here in New England. Couldn't ask for a better partner in crime for this, so I'm so excited.
It's really fun because we get to do it together. We're friends in real life.
Yes.
We work together every day, so it's really fun to be able to do this. It's so collaborative, and it's really just like us kind of loving things that are in New England and about New England, and then sharing what we're loving with everyone.
With all of you. So we had to kick off getting ready for the show with, you know, this is one of my favorites.
This is one of your favorites. We're starting with one of your favorites, and this was my first experience.
Which I love being with you for this experience. So we were getting glamorous and getting ourselves ready and all hyped up. So we went to Dry Bar right here in Rhode Island. There's 2 locations, Providence and Cranston, just to get ourselves ready, just like excited for this big launch. So take a look at our fun Dry Bar experience.
Luxurious destination for one thing only, blowouts. So Dry Bar's motto is no cuts, no colors, just blowouts, and we do one thing, we do it very well. We do also offer dry styles and updos and braids, but our premise is blowouts.
And blowouts are exactly what they do, and they do them the best.
It is like a modern day pin and set, you know, the roller sets at the salon. That's so funny that you said that. But so you come in, you check in, we offer you a drink, a glass of champagne, a mimosa, a cup of coffee, a water. Some people come in, they bring their laptop and they're working. Some people come with their girlfriends and it's like a girls' night out. Some people come for a date night, whatever it is. You know, everyone has a different vibe when they come in, but it's whatever you want it to be. You come in, you get you're settled in, you look through our lookbook. And we have a bunch of different styles, and they're all actually named after drinks. That's the whole concept of Dry Bar. We've been the Cosmo tie, and it's a menu. So it's like, you know, you go to McDonald's and the French fries taste the same everywhere you go. We want that blowout to look the same, whether it's R2 in Rhode Island or if you're in California or you're in Miami. So a regular blowout is $55 if you don't have any hair extensions. That's an additional $20. We do also offer a Barfly membership. So we have the Barfly Double, which is $90. So you get 2 for the month, and every time you come after that, you pay $45 instead of the $55. So you always get $10 off. Then we have the Barfly Single, which you would get 1 for the month, and that's $45 a month. And every additional blowout is $5 off. So you always get that discount. And we do also offer 10% off all products and hot tools in our retail for Barfly members.
So, of course, we experienced Dry Bar together while we were there. Haley and Grace worked with us. And just like Cassandra said, you pick out the hairstyle you want, you relax, you sit there, you enjoy, you have conversation, and of course, you get the most perfect blowout. And we had our big reveal. And truly, it doesn't matter if your hair is long or short, what texture your hair is, Dry Bar can work with you and will make you look and feel your absolute best.
Everybody's hair can be done, absolutely. And we're gonna make it look great.
And that they did. Thanks, Dry Bar. I love Cassandra,
I
first
know.
of all,
well,
right?
She's awesome, and at some point we'll have her on as well because I just think that she's so smart in the business world as well. But I mean, things that people love to do, getting your hair done, even if you don't think this is something that's for you, it is.
It's absolutely for you. And it was great being with you because I go to Dry Bar honestly weekly just to get ready for the road show and all that. But it was awesome seeing you because you had never been there. So you go through the lookbook and we had a glass of champagne.
It's really fun.
You really do relax. And you know I'm obsessed with Haley.
Yes.
I go to Haley every week. She's like my daughter.
Girl. Yeah, you go to the same girl every week, so you have your relationship with her.
Yes.
You get like the lowdown on everything that's
she knows
going
everything
on.
about me.
I love it was so much fun, and you know, even just to treat yourself once in a while. I think, you know, it's such a luxury to have somebody wash your hair for you.
It really is. And we're very lucky to have these 2 locations in Rhode Island. So we went to the Providence one.
Which actually just celebrated 1 year.
It did just celebrate 1 year.
Yeah.
And there's also one in Cranston right near Garden City. So make sure you hop in. Let them know we said hello.
Yep.
And Cassandra, we want to thank you. We loved our little experience. So much fun.
It was so much fun. And we still have a lot more coming up on our first episode of Spotlight New England. So stay tuned. May is Mental Health Awareness Month, and our guest is the perfect person for it. She is a wellness and mental health guru who takes a modern approach and blends it with humor and is an executive coach to people, all while blending it with motherhood and the chaos that comes with all of that. So we are so excited to welcome our first guest and one of our favorite people, Dr. Daryl Appleton. Welcome.
Yay! I'm so excited to be here.
We are so excited to have you. We knew we needed you as our first guest because
we really did.
You're really just kind of like a go-to for me personally in my life because I started by just being a fan of yours and following you on social media, and then I like slid into your DMs at some point. I don't remember exactly how it all went down. And eventually we've just, cultivated a friendship and all of that. But you are a wealth of information, and now I've gotten Audrey on to the Dr.
I'm obsessed with Daryl.
So we're so excited to have you. But I would love to start with, you are like a wise sage, even though you're young. But how did you end up getting into the mental health space?
Yeah.
Well, like any young girl, I wanted to be a party planner. I did. I wanted to bring people together and celebrate them. And then I realized how much work that actually was. And I'm not as organized as I need to be to do that. So then my next kind of step was, I love people. I want to help them. Mental health. Weirdly, I was very into serial killers as a kid, so I thought I would go into
This
like.
is why you're my
You
girl.
two are a match.
This is why you're my girl.
You really are a match made in heaven.
Seriously. So my father was like, maybe take it down a notch. You don't need to work with the criminally insane. How about just like help people get through? And that's really where it started. And it led a little bit more into where I'm at now with coaching. But my first love is helping people and help them see their potential and make the most of what they have in front of them.
No, we know your story, but maybe we don't even know that deep dive into it. But what has been your kind of evolution to get from where you started to really where you are now?
So when I got into mental health, I started in addictions, and it's a lot, right? And it's such a wonderful field, and we need people in there to like get in and get dirty. And then I started seeing myself really being drawn to the other side of, okay, well, what about what's right with people? And I tried to bring in positive psychology into what I was doing with addictions. And then I started to get more clients who were in the executive seat. Right. I was a college athlete. I played basketball in college. So a lot of my friends would refer athletes. And I'm like, I love this idea of coaching and helping people come together and use what they're naturally good at to get them somewhere else. So
I love that.
I started to really kind of not focus on the problems, but the possibilities.
And I really love your approach to mental health because I feel from, again, like being a fan of yours, you really take kind of like a modern take on what mental health is. Like we have to acknowledge where we are in the world, in society, in life. There are a lot of new stressors and challenges that come along, social media being one. And you really embrace it, I would say, more so, and use it to your advantage. Can you talk more about that? Because I feel like that's so important for people now because it's kind of like if you fight it, like, what's it going to do for you?
See, and this is why I love you slid into my DM.
I love when you said that.
Our love story started in social media, which is where this kind of, for me, came to fruition of I was so tired of seeing influencers online talking about mental health, like, A, they knew what they were talking about, and B, framing it either as something's wrong with you or the world, is against you because you have this. We all have our stuff. Yeah. And I'm a big fan of come with your baggage, unpack it, put it away nicely. It might fall off the shelf and get messy again, but then we refold it and put it back. So it feels a little less more like maintenance than something is wrong and we need to fix it. And I think if you can maintain your life in a way that makes sense for you, no matter what stage you're at, it's a much easier task than trying to fix yourself to be better or right or perfect, which doesn't exist.
We actually had the pleasure of speaking with you on a panel, and beforehand we were talking about topics we were going to talk about, and one of them came up of like the motherhood, work, life, the balance of it all. And I had said to you, I've always felt very,
oh, we're seeing some pictures of your little ones right now.
I love it. This is your work-life balance.
But I love what you said to us about like really the concept of balancing it all. And I'd love for you to share with our viewers, because you made me feel that day, I don't want to say normal, because I don't know what necessarily, if that's a correct word to say, but you took baggage off of my shoulders. Just a lot, honestly, hearing it from you about how, listen, like, you got to stop. Like, stop worrying about that. So where is your mindset around the work-life balance, especially when it comes to, like, that motherhood piece?
Right. And I told you at lunch, there's no such thing as work-life balance.
Which one of my favorite things
I loved hearing her say that.
That's like one of those, like, drop the mic moments.
It doesn't exist. I don't even know what that looks like. If we were really to sit there and say, like, okay, how do we get it? What does it look like? I wouldn't even know where to start.
Right.
And I think to be the nerd that I am, like, I love science, I love data, like, I've never seen it in research, I've never seen it in practice. So for me, I don't even know how to operationally define what balance looks like. So therefore, it's a waste of time, in my opinion. For me, it's more about alignment and helping people get aligned. And that might be in this moment, that might be in your day, in your month, in your life. Like, alignment to me is the goal. And figuring out for you specifically what alignment means is going to be a much easier task than us trying to balance everything.
Right. I honestly wrote down alignment in my planner after we left that lunch, because I've never heard anybody put it in that kind of, honestly, like, easy way to really just think about it and wrap your brain around it. So I love that you said that.
And like you said, it's going to be different for everyone. And not only that, like, once you figure out what your alignment is, it's going to change and it's going to shift. So like 1 week, you really need to put your focus here in this bucket. And the next week, it can completely change. And when you talked about that really resonated with me, because you can't always be just like focusing 75% on this and 15% on this or whatever. It just is going to ebb and flow. And that's how it should be.
Right. And I think giving yourself grace. That alignment is a constant movement, right? Like, you're not fully aligned and staying there. It's kind of like being on a tightrope. Like, you have to maintain yourself to stay in a position that makes sense for you. And you have to move forward to stay aligned. And it's really hard to do. But when you can step back and say, I don't need to be perfect. It doesn't need to be right. It needs to be aligned. Like, is this relationship I'm in aligned with my values and what I want? What about this job? Like, the question's a little bit easier. So I like to empower people to ask themselves the right questions, because it makes getting to the answer so much easier.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And, for you specifically, too, because you work with, doctors, and you work with, obviously, like, executives. You're at a very high, you're working with people who are at very high levels. How do you go from really that mindset of working with them and shifting back down to, like, truly, like, who Daryl is as a wife, as a friend, as a mother? Like, how do you make those shifts?
There's something we talk about a lot called the success delusion. And it's this idea that what got you here won't get you there. Like, the stuff you were successful at before you had kids, I'm kind of talking to myself right now, Daryl, is not going to get you to be successful to where you were after kids, because it's not the same. Stop applying things that don't work anymore. Instead, we need to prune out, like your garden, what works, what doesn't, what do we need to get rid of, and put down new seeds so they can grow. So I try to talk to the doctors, I try to talk to my executives, not that I know more than them clinically or whatever their expertise is, but behaviorally, I can absolutely help you find out what is working and what's not working and get you to a place where we can kind of move forward from there.
It's so fascinating to me.
Yeah.
There's so many layers of you.
Well, I was going to say, we have to talk about your mom life a little bit, because you have twins and they are the cutest things on the face of the earth. But I love how real you are about, motherhood and how it is. And you use humor a lot when you're like talking about motherhood. And I don't know, for some reason with me, I just love that you're so down to earth. You don't seem like anything you're not in real life versus online, or putting on that like everything is always like perfection or anything like that. And your girls are just adorable.
They're adorable and well behaved.
Oh, thank you.
Very well behaved.
I love chatting with them.
They are adorable. If you were at the Elms in Newport last week, you saw me football carry one out, kicking and screaming. I swear to God.
This is what we need to hear, because that makes every mother feel so like much better. We've all been there.
I was like sore. It was like a workout for the week, right? So I'm like trying to reframe it. But honestly, I think that humor to me, it's like, you need to laugh to keep from crying sometimes. Motherhood is probably one of the hardest things that I have done, because there's so many layers to it and nuances to it, and trying to work and trying to keep your life together. So for me, to pretend like it's okay has never been something I was good at. I like connecting on like a deep and intimate level with people. So I'm sharing the stuff that is going on behind the scenes, good, bad, and indifferent. And I'm sure being online, people respond differently to that. And sometimes they don't like it when you say, like, my kid was being a jerk today. That's what she was being.
That's what happened.
Right, exactly. So it's been liberating and finding connection in online and even outside of people who are like, I get it, I see you.
Yeah.
And it just warms your heart.
Warms your heart. And tell me this, like, when because obviously your daughters, they are a lot on your social media. If you follow Daryl, you definitely know
I was going to say best follow.
They really do, and you are with the fashion and the motherhood and like, bringing your whole life together. It's a great like snapshot of who you are. But even like raising children in this day and age, I know that the girls are still on the younger side, but even like we're talking like May with like mental health, how do you see, how like, are there things that you as a mother and also as a professional when you're raising your children that you're aware of with the girls? Like maybe things you're saying, things you're exposing them to, just that will truly make a difference.
Yeah, we're big on, you can feel however you want. You're allowed to be angry. You cannot yell and scream, which is sometimes what I say to the doctors and the executives. You're allowed to be frustrated, but you cannot behave that way. So it really translates, right? So I try to let them know that, again, like, it's okay to be upset. It's okay to be angry. It's okay. But sometimes we have to do what we need to do in order to like maintain ourselves. It's not for anybody else. Like getting angry is never fun for you.
Yeah.
Or anybody else around you, ma'am. Right. So I try to kind of speak to them, not like adults, but I try to give them that, I don't know, like, they know more than we think they know.
Yeah.
And I try to speak to them in that way with respect that I would give anybody else. Like, we try to debrief, like, after the football hold, like, we debriefed of, like, was that fun? Like, after we both
let's get together and talk about this.
Everybody had to calm down after that moment. And it was like, listen, is there a better way? So I try to bring that to them.
Yeah.
We talk a lot about the stranger thing. Yeah. Like, literally, like, being online, not now, but I'm careful about what I post because it can get to be a little icky.
You just never know.
Yeah. So I'm trying also to introduce them because they see me online and, on these
And let's
things
be honest, they're
going to
grow up in this world.
Right.
Yeah,
Any child will.
So I try to say to them, not everything you see is real, like just like on Scooby-Doo, and I try to kind of just give them that mindset to ask questions themselves about their world and the world around them.
I love that. It makes so much sense.
Our time with you is already flying by, but I want to make sure that we get a chance to talk about the podcast.
Yes.
Please tell us about your podcast because, a lot of people have a podcast, but you started your podcast and immediately, of course, saw success because you're Dr. Daryl. And I want to make sure that people know about this resource that they have.
Thank you. Yes, Feelings and Other F Words is the name of the podcast.
My favorite name.
I started it because I'm a geriatric millennial, so I need a podcast, clearly. And the first season, it got picked up as Vogue's top 15 mental health podcasts. And, I love that. Yeah, it was really unexpected. So now I feel this pressure to keep it going.
Of course.
But I love talking about different F words that come up, like family or fun, and breaking down the science behind it. Because I don't think people talk enough about, like, what does science say? What does research say? In a digestible way, and then how to apply it. I was doing one on toxic in-laws, and the science behind that was fascinating about like genetics and how there's Darwinism, and that's why we have conflicts sometimes with our mother-in-laws. Wow. So like I like learning about stuff, and then I'm now bringing more people on, and I hope to have some guests in this very room on soon.
Oh, we'd love to.
Put me in, Coach. Put me in. I'm dying for it.
We're right here. We're ready.
Mm-hmm, you all heard it.
Now, where can people find you everywhere on social media, et cetera? Because again, I joke. You know my personality, but you really are one of my favorite followers.
You're a good follow.
You use so much humor, and you just like incorporate it into your everyday life. And I just, for me, that's what I like to see.
Yeah.
I love that. You can find me on Instagram, Dr. Daryl Appleton. You can find me. I'm not on TikTok. I haven't gotten there yet.
It's a lot. It's another added thing. We're also,
and
we're
you're
over
doing
20.
a
We're
great
over
job
20.
on Instagram, by the way. I love the way you started incorporating fashion. You know, I'm obsessed with that. Like, we barely even started to scratch the surface here.
Oh my goodness, lots of psychology on fashion.
See,
there's stuff to it. It's not just what you wear. It affects your mood. But you can find me drdarylappleton.com. I'm everywhere. DM me. I love connecting with people. I love talking with people. So if you have questions that I can answer, reach out to me because I want to be able to be a resource and help people, truly.
Oh, we love it. We love that you came today. Thanks so much for being here with us.
Our first guest. Thank you so much. We appreciate it. And of course, follow Dr. Daryl, like she said, on social media. And stay with us because after this quick little break, we'll be back with even more. Stay tuned.
Well, Mother's Day is coming literally very, very soon.
Yes.
I hope you have it tattooed on your arm.
This one I actually remember. I would not forget Mother's Day because our mothers are so important. We're all mothers in our own ways. And we wanted to make sure we were, highlighting motherhood this week and doing something special for all the moms and caretakers out there.
That's right.
We went to one of our favorite people.
We love him so much. Tion put together a very special Mother's Day drink for us. So take a look.
Let's make a frozen blueberry margarita for all the moms out there because you deserve it. We'll start with a half a cup of crushed ice, 1.5 cups of frozen blueberries, a 1/4 cup of tequila, a 1/2 ounce of Meyer lemon juice, a 1/4 ounce of Cointreau or triple sec, and 1 1/4 cups of elderflower liqueur, which is a sweet French liqueur. Then we'll pop on the top and blend it up. Once the mixture is blended, you want to add it to a cocktail glass and then top with some Prosecco. Give it a garnish. And there you have it. Your frozen blueberry margarita for Cinco de Mayo. Cheers.
Cinco de Mayo, Mother's Day,
Margarita. Big week.
So, let's gush. Should we gush?
Oh, Mike, first of all, we absolutely love Tion. As the whole segment was airing, we were over here going, he's just the nicest. And I'm a Pinot Grigio girl.
Yes.
You know that.
I do know that.
But whenever Tion is here, he will always come up with just a delicious drink. And I always love the drinks that he comes up with.
So I love his story. The amount of effort he puts into his drink recipes is like more than I would put into a dinner I was hosting for 50. His cocktails are beautiful. He uses different glassware for every single drink he makes because he thinks about what will fit the recipe he made. Sometimes he makes his own simple syrups with different flavorings in them. He had an amazing one recently for springtime.
Oh, when he asked for the spring. My goodness.
Cherry blossom.
It was incredible.
Syrup.
I
was incredible. I don't even understand what that means. And he is the nicest human being you will ever meet.
He is.
And he started doing this during,
in COVID, right?
During COVID.
Yeah.
He was like, all right, I'm at home. I like doing this stuff. Let me make some videos about this, and
it just went like wildfire.
Yeah, he exploded because he's just the best ever. And so you can follow him. We had his little handle up there for you, but Newport RI Foodie is where you can find him, and he is on TikTok and Instagram, and we just love it.
Make sure you go follow him. He does for every he does the seasonal drinks, everything. He always has something. So yes, give him a follow. So can you believe our first show?
It absolutely flew by. I don't even want to say it, but I feel like we could probably do an hour, but
I guess
we'll wait. We're not ready. But
everybody panics.
We're so excited you joined us for our first show, and we'll be back here tomorrow with more. You can catch us every day at 12:30. Thanks for joining us, and we'll see you next time.